We have a rare look for you tonight inside the state's juvenile and adult prisons from a man who spent time in both. A man who was barely a teenager when he killed a girl in a blind rage. Patrick Armstrong feels he's making progress, and he credits it to his time spent in the juvenile system. We heard last night from the parents of the girl he killed, the Johnstons. Tonight, we'll hear from him. News Center's Samantha Edwards joins us now with more on the story. Samantha?
Thanks, Chris. Patrick Armstrong is growing up behind bars, and it's all he's known since he was 15 years old. He spent 3 years in Mountain View Youth Development Center, a juvenile facility that focuses more on rehabilitating their young inmates rather than just punishing them. Now Patrick spends his days at the Maine Correctional Center in Windham. He did agree to discuss his experience about how the work of therapists and the strict regimen in the center helped him grow, and what he plans to do to make up for the terrible mistake of his past. Patrick Armstrong views the world from behind bars. 7 years ago, he beat Marley Johnston to death and put an end to his own childhood.
I think one of the hardest things is just coming to grips with the damage that you've done, and in some cases, the little that you can do to repair those things.
At 15 years old, the troubled teen was placed in Mountain View Youth Development Center, where he admits help was the last thing he wanted, but people never gave up.
They make you go, they make you put in the work, and even if you are reluctant at first, the fact that they are putting in the time with you and are saying, even if you're not ready now, we'll be here when you're ready, it's just tremendously beneficial.
The juvenile system pushes for therapy and educational programs. Barry Studley with Maine's Juvenile Services says it's in the best interest of both the offender and the public.
Punishment, holding juveniles accountable is important, but it's mostly around rehabilitation and safety and making good to the extent possible on the crime that's been committed.
Juvenile inmates are made to attend therapy sessions along with educational courses, and part of helping a young offender heal is looking at their past. Back in 2005, Patrick says he had a lot of anger and emotional issues, but never spoke up about it.
Maybe no one noticed, or...
Another hard question. It's difficult in my case, again, because I don't think there can ever be one sole factor for this is the reason things turned out the way they did. I don't have any one thing I can point to and say this would have been the solution either.
Patrick received one-on-one therapy along with family therapy to understand why he did what he did and how to turn a terrible situation around.
Just kind of being able to, I guess, broaden my own perceptions of the situation and to understand kind of the central concept that is at the heart of all the therapy and programs they do there, which is, you know, the idea of empathy, which of course from the outside seems completely simple, and then in the moment is not at all. And as soon as you realize, oh, things aren't about me, things are about other people, about society, about the community.
The 21-year-old's time spent in the juvenile center and the lessons he learned are what keep him looking to the future and making plans.
I think one of the main benefits of the youth center is that it allows you to not just live and exist as a person, but it gives you the tools you need to salvage a life that might have fallen apart otherwise.
They're coming out with a different brain. They have different opportunities. Things can be better or they can be worse. On balance, they're better, and we do everything possible to ensure that they leave in a better place than when they came in.
The person I was at 15 is almost unrecognizable from the person I am today. I've grown emotionally in ways that I couldn't begin to describe. My relations with other people are so much better. I'm so much more of a calm person.
But he knows this opportunity and the ability to salvage his own life came at the price of another.
I wish that all of it could be taken back. Knowing at the time what irreparable harm you've done to a person, to a family, to a community, knowing that and then being able to look and see them still willing to say, we can help. We know that there's something we can do even if you don't feel like you deserve it.
Patrick Armstrong will remain at the Maine Correctional Center until 2023. After that, he'll be released into society for the first time in 18 years. But it's then that Patrick has to prove he's not the same person that went in, a challenge he's willing to accept.
There's no way for me to say it. I can't go up to someone and say, look at me, I'm better. because, going back to the cliche, actions speak louder than words. And I will have to prove it. I will have to prove that I'm different probably every day of my life hereafter. Yes, in the past, I was a damaged person, but in the future, I'm going to be someone.
Patrick knows no matter what he does to turn his life around, it won't make up for his past and the family he destroyed.
And there's no way to express that or to put that into words. There's no action I could possibly do that would thank them for that could apologize for the damage that I've done. So grateful and so thankful that because of their actions, I was able to turn onto a better path, to restore the damage.
Now, Patrick will not have the chance to say these words to Marley's family. The judge did order that he is to have no contact with them. He says he'll continue pursuing his education and working to prove those that fought for him did not do it in vain. Chris, back to you.
Okay, Samantha, thank you very much for that report.